What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be giving a visual guide for this week's normal time trial, RC Bandito time trial, and the premium race totaling over $300,000. Note that the time trials can only be completed once a week for the full $100,000 payout. The premium race, however, can be completed in a limited amount of times with a 48-minute cooldown between each win. So, starting off with the time trial this week, which is Stab City, I highly recommend a fast motorcycle such as the Hakuchi Drag, Shotaro, or Batty 801 constantly doing wheelies for this time trial. Now, this time trial does give you quite a bit of extra time, so it can be completed in most fast cars as well. This time trial does have one major shortcut cutting through the mountains, as you can see here with the yellow line, but it's actually pretty easy if you're on a motorcycle. Now, if you're on a car, it might be a little more difficult, but on a motorcycle it's pretty simple. Really, the only issue for me was avoiding the traffic when entering the city, but other than that, this time trial is pretty straightforward and simple.
Nope.
Moving on to this week's RC Bandito time trial, which is Power Station. As always, you need to own an RC Bandito in order to participate in these. This time trial is a little difficult if you've never done it before. If you go full speed on your first trial, you will miss checkpoints, turns, and crash into a lot of objects, so I highly recommend driving through the time trial at first very slow to kind of familiarize yourself with the checkpoints, the turns, and the obstacles and the tight areas. The biggest tip I can give is to let off the throttle before each turn and also while in the air. That is very important so that you get smooth corners and it does not go on two wheels when it lands after doing a jump. Also, when you use your brakes, press them about halfway in, not all the way, or you will lose control of the Bandito as well.
Bruh.
And lastly, we have this week's premium race, which is Business Trip. This one is restricted to the Supercars class. I highly recommend either the Emirates, Krieger, or the Vest 8 for this race. I personally prefer the Emirates, but the Krieger is the best choice in my opinion. So about half this race is pure top speed and slipstreaming each other. It's crucial that you stay slipstreaming back and forth with the cars at the very front. Once you get off the highway, you want to be very careful with the bumpy road section where a lot of people tend to mess up. For that part, I highly recommend letting off the throttle for about a second or two before that turn, or you will most likely mess up. The rest of the race is pretty straightforward with a few corners towards the end. Don't be afraid to use your brakes before some of those tighter corner areas. Those are a little tricky sometimes.
Bye, have a great time.
And that's it, guys. Normal time trial this week is pretty easy if you're on a motorcycle. The RC time trial is a little more difficult than most time trials, so give it some slow practice runs at first. And this week's premium race is pretty easy if you do well with the slipstreaming at the beginning and first corner. Again, remember guys, you can earn over $300,000 between the three this week, and setting yourself the goal to beat them is always a lot of fun in my personal opinion. Let me know down below in the comments which one you found most difficult and what vehicles you used. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.